I don't mind the lower entry right now. And I think if somebody has a question, they could like. There's always somebody to DM and ask. But I don't know if if we're unclear about it. You know what I'm saying? Like the Genesis is always gonna be Genesis. That's the ball. It's 65% of the trait of what the babies are gonna look like. As far as the babies, we haven't even announced if we're gonna be charging for the babies. If it's gonna be a free mint. If it's gonna be a free drop. Nobody even talked about. So I'm not even gonna go into that conversation. If that makes sense.
Yeah, and I didn't mean to imply that we were doing it in the wrong way at all. Just that everyone needs to basically, you have to. We can only hold people's hands so far and give them the information, and then it's up to them to make their own choices whether
No,
they want to
100%. Look,
invest. Right.
yeah, 100%. I wish, and you're totally right about certain things you're saying, and I get it. And I just wish that like Discord people would come to Twitter and Twitter people would come to Discord. I feel like I'm dealing with like Biden and Trump. You know what I mean? It's like, no, I'm not going over there. But I mean, if and I'm in here spaces a lot, but and we're going to do another AMA. But I feel like when we just release the information, and we draw it all out and put an easy picture and a good roadmap, it'll be a lot easier for people to understand.
And then
Yeah,
it's
and and we talked about like DJ Winner and myself and some of the other people we're gonna do some recordings and stuff like that, just for new people. So if they come in the room, we can put it up on top of the room and they can hear this is what a juice is, this is what the OG, this is the queen, this is how they work together, and this is kind of who we are,
No,
in
for
a
sure.
nutshell.
Yeah, no,
And
Yep.
to test that out, I've just put that clip of you, Fity, explaining what's happening on Friday up top. So let's see how it goes.
oh,
and
cool.
as far as new holders, it's not just uh, actually not even new holders. I'm sorry, Fiddy, you were saying you go in Discord. Discord people don't like the whole Twitter thing. I mean, you guys do a great job of covering that as a whole. But to touch on what Koi was saying about new holders, as far as getting new holders, that's really on us. I mean, the Fiddy and the Queens, they work their asses off as it is to do everything for all of us. All of us as investors need to actually take the initiative other than just content. Like when you're out somewhere, you could talk to people about NFTs in general and then bridge the conversation over to the apes, the queens. I mean, it's on all of us, no matter what community we're in,
Kind
to
of like
bring it
that
up.
lady in Joshua Tree.
100% like the lady in Joshua Tree. So if you want to tell people about that, in case anyone hasn't heard that, that is a perfect example of what I was getting ready to say.
You could probably post it to the top of the room because this lady related it to what was that thing? Think and something, or
I don't know. Creation
some kind of
tweeted it.
some
I'd have to find
some
it.
kind of characters or show that she related it to, and then we started explaining to her and we started showing her the apes. It was kind of funny, but that's exactly like there's 4 billion people on the planet that don't even know what an NFT is, and that is pretty huge when you think about what we have in our wallets.
Yeah, guys, I shared something with Scott, with Coy and DJ Wiener. I can't post it, but I'm going to French Montana's house for an NFT event tomorrow night. So I'm doing as much as I can to bring new great people in here, bring in awareness. I mean, there's only so much I can do. You know what I'm saying? So it's. I mean, I've got so many in real life events right now. It's coming up. It's insane, and I kind of really like it. I mean, there's a guy that bought in last night, and he wants to just start buying up a lot because he loves them. He wants to put them in his gallery. I got a DM today from a lady who was working with uh, Team C's when we donated money to them. She's opening up a gallery in New York, and she's looking for a few NFT projects to put in there. She's reached out. So there's so many things we're doing right now, guys. Again, I know we say we're early, but this is just the beginning. So I'm not really worried. If somebody who has a question or needs more information, we're going to find more avenues to put it out there. We're still learning, but I mean, on an everyday basis. I mean, if you guys don't know, you can ask DJ Wiener how many responses I personally get to. I probably get to at least 200 personally.
Oh, easily. Like you can't even respond quick enough before you get another DM. And like with the new holders, obviously I go through people's wallets a lot. I pay close attention to things like that. And just since right before the Queen's minted and after, There was one person that joined right before the Queens minted, and 2 after, and they are a couple, and they are whales. And a lot of people don't realize it, but if you guys pay attention to the activity, they get some amazing snipes.
I was looking
So I
at a
mean,
couple wilds today I've never heard of before, and they were pretty deep.
yeah, there's a couple, and they are not named, and for their privacy, I'm not going to say anything, but they're whales. Like, they get some great snipes, whether they're inexpensive or super expensive. They know what they're doing. We have new people all the time. Just since Easter alone, we just in spaces that are people that are active, we have at least 30 people that are active that I have heard come up and talk at least 2 or 3 times. And that's just people that talk. That's not including the people that aren't talking. So, I mean, we definitely have these new holders. And if you guys noticed, 2 days ago, the Genesis collection was down, the floor was down to what, 0.14? And now I was having trouble finding a Genesis that I really loved earlier today when I was finally buying another Genesis. And I had to hit almost a 0.3 price range to find that, because the floor on it after last night is up to 0.22. So it's going up. So anyone, I know Hugh, you had mentioned something about that, like some people were concerned about that. We have no reason to worry about that. It's going up, and
Oh
people are
yeah,
getting
no,
ready to start sniping.
I try to fill them in on as much as I can. I'm in a couple of groups with people that are buying some pretty good quality NFTs, you know, quirkies, which a lot of Bored Apes are in and stuff like that. And I've known some of these people for quite some time, and I try to redirect them over to, you know, get on spaces, and I let them know, hey, there's stuff coming. And I kind of explained a bunch of the stuff that Fity explained, but you know, there's some people you can't drag them to the water. That's all I
Yeah,
can say.
yeah, and there's always going to be people like that, but I don't even know all the stuff that's coming. I just know what we have all heard in these spaces. And I can tell you, I have any spare money I have in this project, because I have zero doubt in my mind I'm going to make a shitload of money off this project with everything coming. And that's by holding everything that I've got. I'm excited for everything to come. That's all I got.
Yeah, I got a few apes and queens too, so I believe in the project. And I can hear all the new people coming into the rooms and, you know, asking questions. And guys, we're dominating on spaces. I haven't seen another community with this kind of participation and involvement um, in the space, and the value and the leaders and the holders that we have. It's only probably a couple moments away before we hit a whole nother level. And I can totally see the lava bubbling under the volcano at this point. So
I totally agree. It's like watching that pot boiling, rumbling, getting ready to go. Hugh, while we're at the sort of like let's cover things for the new people, or I mean, like, what's the question you get the most? Is it like currently around the juices?
yeah, you know, people the other day I had somebody came into the room, and you know, I know people want to come in, they want to share their project, they want to know about our project, but I think it's like people go, what's the utility? That's kind of a complex question because we have lots of utilities going on. Like we have the community, we have obviously the breeding with the original um, OG apocalyptic apes. Then we have the queen apes that just got revealed. We're talking less than 2 weeks ago, right? And it's so funny too because nobody in the space seems to have much patience. They're like the queens come out and they're like, okay, when are the babies coming? And then I use Fidy's line. I'm like, well, don't they have to date a little bit, like kind of get to know each other? Like they're not even enjoying life together yet, and now you want them to have babies? I'm like, you know, there's got to be a progress. And then how do you expect an artist to come up with you know 26,000 NFTs within a week? You know, it's like there's got to be some progress, like a business. And then I talk about the juices, and I said the juices are almost like a fertilization serum, so to speak. So when you put the OG apocalyptic ape with the queen and one of the juices, then you get apocalyptic baby. And then there's 4 different options on the juices. And then I talked to them about the legendary, the fact that they're revealing, and there's music tied in, and Web 2, and so I think it's just people understanding that. And some of these people, they're in way too many projects. They're not paying attention. They don't know what's going on. They might love the spaces, they love the community, but they don't understand why things are acting the way that they are. And people are really quick to judge. I think somebody said it before best, like it's kind of like wherever you focus your attention is what you're going to attract. So if you're looking at the floor, you're looking at scarcity. If you're looking at where we're going, you're looking at abundance. And I've definitely aped into this project on a very deep level. I mean, I not to like flex or anything, but I probably have 250 apocalyptic queens, 100 apes, and 120 juices, almost 500, and I keep getting more. And it's because I believe in the community, and I believe in what we're doing, and I believe in Fity and the project, and I see how hard Fity works, and he wants everyone to win, because he's been where we've been before, even where I've been in the beginning, where you buy into a project and you're like, wait a second, how where's the rest of this, and we got a lot of the right elements lined up in the recipe. It's just a matter of time before everything kind of manifests into actuality here.
So well said, and mate, your time couldn't be better. As StemQueen joins us, Stem, how you going?
Hey, welcome.
I was just gonna say, Hugh, with the Genesis and the Queens getting to know each other. I don't know about you all, but I plan on hosting Twitter Space weddings for all of my Genesis and Queen pairings, and we can get to know the couple and give them names and stuff. So that's definitely happening.
That's going to be amazing.
Yeah, it's funny. Somehow people think they get a banana juice, and then when they press refresh after it comes into their wallet, there's a baby. So
Where's the
that's
fun in that?
what will we do for the next year?
Stem, how you feeling?
Hello, Stem.
Yeah. I'm trying to get a voice. There we go. I'm good. I hung out this morning and I thought I'd jump back in because I miss just talking crap with all you guys. And then I didn't want to interrupt you because you just sounded so nice as you was talking so eloquently. You know what? If we were like fast food NFTs that were going to pump and dump, like honestly, we would let you breed next week if we didn't give a shit. But the problem is we do care. So I'm sorry. If you want to like go for something really pumpy, like we are not the community for you.
You do not need to apologize. I love that this is a measured project with like realistic goals and epic 24/7 community all around the world. Like you said, there's nothing like it.
Stem, I don't know if you know, but while you've been gone, Aussie's kept your voice and your conversations among us, playing the repeats of your conversations from your podcast. So it's been pretty awesome.
I love that. I would note that he sent me one and it wasn't my voice at all. It was Jillian with the chickmunks filter on and just all of you pissing yourself laughing for about 5 minutes straight, like completely incoherent space. And it's glorious. It's glorious. I'm so glad that I have a
I was
copy of
gonna
it.
say it was a beautiful thing, right? It was like just nonsense for 5 minutes, but it was gorgeous.
It's nice to hear some like more Aussie voices, to be honest.
Oh, the Aussies are strong with the A's. Like the Outback trait, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. The Outback trait's up there. Although I finally got my Brittany and I finally got my Crystal. So I've now got 4 pairs. But that's it. Like my problem is I've only got 4 pairs out of like 20 plus pairings. I need time to like hook some of my OGs up. and vice versa. Find my queens some kings.
I
Just
love
as
it. We should do a dating show, just the weddings.
It's like freshman year, right?
just as a question, right? Because I'm kind of curious. When did the whole NFT crossbreeding become like a big thing? Because there was a project on Avalanche in November last year that had like opened up with that trade. So how long has this been like sort of a big thing?
I think that there's been a number of evolutions of it. I don't think anyone's doing what we're attempting to do in terms of using a genealogist with traits to actually produce not something that's for example, there's a level of artificial intelligence we're going to have to use with the trait work of Hattie in the building of the mint process with the babies. And I know that there's one NFT project that has the capability to combine artificial intelligence with hand drawn art. They're based out of the UK. They're teams from Cambridge, a combination of Cambridge and Oxford, and graduates, and they've built a supercomputer at what's the big art museum in the middle of London called? Someone help me out here.
Is it the Louvre?
No, that's
That's
France.
No, that's in front. Yeah.
You could tell I have not been into art for very long.
There's
The
a really it's not the Guggenheim.
the
That's New
Guggenheim
York.
is in that's New York. Yeah.
There's one in London. Anyway, I've been and they're there. So they're now located right there. So they have done generative with a number of projects. So I think that once we work through all of the different options and choices around genealogy and generative in the context of like blending of traits, like I'm super excited to crack that. I don't think anyone's done it incredibly well. And at the same time, I don't think people have done it in the context of staking. Like I think they've done it in the context of generating another PHP. So it'll be
So I
interesting
think
to
my
see how it
question was
evolves.
I think my question was sort of lost. I was more so looking at the trend in regards to like NFT projects who are doing like a baby mint from their two OG parents. In regards to that trend, how long has that sort of been like the developing thing? Because that's
I don't
like
think
from
that
what
it's happened. I don't think that they're making. There is a lot of
No, I
parent
think
projects with that mentor child. I think that there's lots of baby projects, like lazy lions have cubs, etc. I don't think that there's a lot of genetic breeding strategy going on.
There's
More
many,
mutating.
like Quirklings is coming out for Quirkies and their companions, but there's no breeding involved. It's just you're getting a mini Quirky as a Quirkling, but there's no breeding or genetics.
the one thing you guys don't understand, we're not just bringing out a PFP picture. It's going to have utility. So it's not about delivering babies and more pictures and more PFPs. We're going to go into staking. We're going to metaverse. We're going to the apocalypse. We're bringing things that are going to have Web 2, Web 3. So you're going to be seeing intellectual property, your IP used. That's what's important.
So we can make money. Money.
That's kind of the whole point of it. Because at the end of the day, everybody loves beautiful art, but you want it to have a value. So you want to enjoy it and have it be a value. Because let's be honest, most people really want to get out of what they're doing and come to Web 3. And if we can make that opportunity for a good amount of people.
Did you rug or did I rug?
He
he
definitely
rugged.
rugged.
He rugged.
Is that back?
Yeah,
Yeah,
there we
you're
are.
back.
Yeah,
He's back.
I got a DM. Somebody said that they purchased a house from the money they minted from the apocalyptic apes, and they sent me pictures of the house. They sent me pictures of the kids, and he minted about 40, and they sold 3 PFPs, one for 10, one for like 15. I mean, we had some really big sales, and he pulled out almost $180,000 from the project, and that made me really happy because you see somebody's life change. So I think that's kind of the goal, is to really not just bring beautiful art, but also help the community.
Do good while doing well, changing lives. I love it.
Well, you want to support the people that have been supporting you. It's just giving back. I mean, you've seen the love that we give and get from each other. I mean, people. I mean, where have you seen where people come in and say, "Oh, this just happened," and people just generously do that. I mean, I just saw Blau give somebody a Bitcoin in a space to pay off his debt. So we've seen a lot of acts of kindness here, and which you don't see in the rest of the world. I mean, my friends would call me and say, "Hey, can I have $500?" I'm like, "No." Here they'll send you, "Hey, can you send me 2 ETH for this?" I'm like, "Yeah, no problem. Here you go." And we've seen people trust how many people with that.
I
Yeah,
mean,
just what was it? Last night, 2 nights ago, I saw a Sammy Hart or Sammy staff that I knew on Sybil would want. I didn't have the funds to get it for him, but Creation did. He had no problem picking it up for him and selling it to him for the exact same price just because he knows he was after that. There is no other community that does that.
yeah, or I just happened to mention that some apocalyptic ape holders and queen holders here in Perth, Australia, the most isolated capital city in the world, were catching up for some drinks for the first time, and Fi's like, "We'll cover it," and yeah, like that night of the
Oh
drinks,
my
like send me
goodness,
the
we're
ETH. It was
putting
just
on an
done.
Aussie bar tab.
It
I
well,
already
yeah,
did.
it happened at
Goodness.
the
I
it happened at
took
the
care of it
Queen's
last week.
Hotel. Yeah, it was brilliant. I'll have to put a photo up top. But yeah, Stem, I've got to get over to Melbourne and Sydney, and I want to meet
That's what
more
happens when I miss
apocalyptic
them.
apes and queens.
I start giving money to other Australians. Good drinks.
It was such a
I
great
think
night,
you.
Stem. It was at the Queen's Hotel. It could have been more perfect, like being at the Queen's and meeting people IRL for the first time. It was brilliant.
Aussie,
We
we've got to sort out NFT Melbourne because they just announced they might do another one. Did you see that?
I did.
And then we've got NFT Sydney in December.
I saw that.
So I want to make both of them. I want to make both of them huge,
I'm doing
Huge
a
excellence.
huge.
huge. I'm doing a podcast for an Australian news channel tomorrow. But the same I did last week that didn't work out. And it's funny. The guy, when I was on there last week, he's like, I don't know why, but for some reason I really like art. It appeals to me. I feel it knows, but our art like just brings Australians in.
Yeah, I mean, I speak for myself. I love the artwork. That's what brought me in. But then obviously discovered the community, discovered, the team. Here I am chatting to the founder and members of the team. It's really quite epic. Sorry, I realized Apes had their hand up for a while.
Oh yeah, Ape Hoser.
Hey, how's it going, fellas? Yeah, it's been a while. A lot has been said, and a lot, I guess, can talk about as a newcomer, first time holder. I have been listening to the space probably since February, just listening to the knowledge and the feedback, everything you guys talk about, just like the traits you guys look for, just trying to learn. Um, Obviously, at the time, it just like everybody else, the Gen 1, the OG Genesis, was a little out of price range for most average people, or most people that didn't know much about NFTs. And then just knowing as you go, the juices came out, then knowing the queens were about to be released, I knew I had to get it. Like, I almost didn't even get it. Like, I got 8879, so it was like literally I had a 30-minute meeting, and I was like, if it's there, it's there. It was meant to happen. So I ended up getting it. I know what the project is about. I know what the future is going to be about, and I'm excited. I am in progress to try and save up to try and get an OG myself. But just even the knowledge that Hugh provides all the time, it's just priceless. And then Fity, just the genuine care, like, helping everybody out, the community. What he did with creation, I even sent him a message. He even replied, so I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, it's pretty sometimes intimidating to come up, as my first time coming up, kind of nervous, but at the same time, just thank you guys for everything you guys are doing.
No, man, and come up and talk anytime. You're great, man. I remember that, and thank you for coming up. And if you ever
Thanks,
feel
Drew.
nervous about coming up, just picture us all as little fuzzy animals and little profile pictures.
I
Yeah,
already
I'm
do.
glad you came up, because I wasn't following you yet, but I am now.
And I'm sorry, I thought I
I,
was following you because I have seen you around, but I just shot you a follow.
Yeah, we spoke in the private message in regards to trying to help me get rid of or sell one of this queen I have right here, so I can try and get a mohawk that was on the floor. But then there was another one that dropped like at 0.08. It was the lowest that it's been on the floor a couple of days, and I had to get it. But I'm still trying to sell this one. But thank you, I appreciate you.
Yeah, no worries
I
at
love
all.
that. I think it'd be harder to find someone in this space that hasn't been directly assisted, but had direct DJ assistance. I mean, mate, you've had a helping hand in so many trades, and like so many people finding their forever ape or queen. I think maybe a handful of people in the room might not have had that experience, but you're everywhere. You're the legend, the rainmaker.
you know what's funny about DJ Wiener? Like I've seen him, in the beginning, but I really didn't know where he came from. He's like one of those people you see in a movie and you just don't really. He doesn't have a huge part, and towards the end of the movie, he takes over. He becomes the lead.
So I've been here since Christmas Eve, but I was just always listening to you guys talk so I could learn about NFTs because I knew how much my phone would rug when I'd work. And I mean, I work all day, every day doing Uber. And then finally it got to a point where Creation had started doing his spaces. And I remember helping him with something before he started those. And he started doing his spaces and he's like, will you just start coming up? I was like, dude, I rug all the time. He's like, I don't give a shit. It was actually between Creation and Jillian that I actually decided to just say screw it and start coming up and just not care that I rug all the time. But yeah, Jillian
I
was my
I
first
love it.
friend, and then Creation.
There you
Can we
go.
go? Can we go deeper on the DJ Genesis story? Like, what was your first NFT, mate?
First one I got was I had won a typical tiger, but I only knew about them from being in the ape spaces.
That's
But
funny.
I
Me
was sitting
too.
there,
I only had have a typical tiger because of apes.
yeah, like from the very first time I heard anything in the ape spaces, it was actually Fity complimenting Sammy after doing a song and telling people that they should. That was one of the very first things I heard in an ape space, and that was on Christmas Eve. And something about that just clicked with me. And I'm looking at my bank account. I was like, "Damn it! I don't. I had rent on it, so I couldn't mint the Genesis, but I wanted one bad. So every single day, I would see a space. I would just hop in it. As soon as I'd wake up, I'd hop on the Aussie spaces. At night, I'd be in the US spaces every single day, all day, just down in the bottom of the listener section. And then one day, Dogecoin had gone up a little bit. And I'm like, you know what? I could finally get my first ape. Cashed it all out, bought an ape. Haven't stopped since.
Wow, I had no idea because you've accumulated quite the collection since then. That's epic. And so after helping Creation out and befriending Jillian, like what was the transition to, from just person on Twitter to, being part of the team?
I, I don't really know. Just kind of natural progression. Um, I had Creation had a space
If
going
you
one day.
find something you love to do, you'll never work a day in your life.
I can answer that
Yeah,
for him.
yeah. There
He
there
just
is no
he
work
just
with this.
became he just Yeah, he just became just so good at this, and he just became loved by everybody, and it wasn't, and that's kind of how our team came around. I mean, the same with STEM. It wasn't like we've ever hired or put ads or look for people. People just come in here and they just fit into their roles and positions where we're at, and they do it because they love to do it, not for any other reason.
I love the STEM story. I love Chris's video on meeting the team, like, and meeting Lisa Joe and Gillian and Sam. And I think we need to do that for DJ and creation. Maybe even Fishy as
I
well.
agree too. I agree. We need everyone's OG stories because we'll forget them like in a year's time when it's like, can you imagine how lit this Christmas is going to be? Can you imagine? Like, I'm so excited and I know
Very
what's happening.
the
Like,
20 and do you remember the date? Do you guys remember the date we sold out the Queens? Does anybody ever remember?
I don't remember the exact
The
date. I'm just glad
29th?
I got in a minute.
It was the 29th.
22nd.
Was
And really, like,
no,
if you think
wasn't
about Christmas
22nd pre-sale?
pre-sale, and
Yeah.
then we went
and
to
29th,
ninth. But if you
29th would
but
sell
if you
out.
think about it, like, it's right around the same days as Christmas. It's like right there. It felt like Christmas again. It really did. Because Christmas is always the 26th or 25th. I don't remember what day it was. It was Christmas morning. But it felt like that again. It was really interesting. I don't know if you guys know what I was doing on when we were on our 29th. I actually had my trainer who was supposed to come over train, and I was going to cancel. I said, "Nah, you know what? I'm just going to leave it on." I left it on Spaces instead of playing music. I just listened to everybody and worked out and didn't cancel it. And now he's starting apocalyptic gyms. We have 5 cars that are being wrapped right now. He's hired 6 trainers. We have a whole big thing going on. I haven't even talked about it yet.
It's so crazy. Like, even though I was lucky enough to mint some Genesis around Christmas, I had no idea until later that there was the talk of burning the rest of them. Like, there's that video from Hattie. I love that video where he's talking about, oh, we don't want to reduce the sale price to piss off people who've already minted. We also don't want to ruin the floor. Like it's the same values back then. We just want to look after the holders. But of course, that's when you call him during that video and you're like, no, no, we minted out. It's all done. I think that's a great memory.
Yeah, no, it was good. I'll tell you something. Stem, I was going to tell you. Oh, we're Stem here? Oh, there she is. Yeah, he moved over.
Yeah.
Drew came in and moved you over. What's up, Drew?
GM friends, I'm heading back to the swamp. Slid out of Miami as we speak.
Drew was out there trying to trade gold and ETH for gas.
It was just silver. Silver is the ETH.
There you go. There you go. So it was really funny because I was in Lavelli's room the other day, Stem, and he was talking about projects, and somebody and I think it was Roy in there, and Roy said, "Well, Fity did it organically. He never paid influencers. He never did anything." And he said, "Well, I'd have to disagree because he got influencers like Stem and like Crypto Booty and like Jillian." I'm like, "No, I did not get influencers like them. I met them. They came and minted the projects. I did not go out and find them." And so a lot of people don't even understand that. Like, this was 100% organic. We never asked anybody. We never paid anybody. We worked this project really, really hard, and that's kind of how it came together.
I honestly thought you, Stem, Crypto Booty, and Sammy had known each other for years on Christmas Eve. I had
We
no
did.
clue you guys didn't know each other.
I met them the first time that day. Less than 24 hours, I'd known them.
Yeah,
I
it was
just
that connection that you felt though. Like, up until probably a week in, I had no clue you guys did not know each other before that.
I did not know who Stem was even. I just liked the Australians. I just thought she had a cool accent. That was it. And Sammy, I kind of, well, but in all honesty, isn't it a year like a day is about the same thing in crypto? So he might be right.
Yeah, a whole day. But do you know what it was, right? I just think we have magic chemistry, right? So you've kind of got you've got the dad jokes, founder, like can't say no, gets a little bit too excited, can negotiate like an absolute beast. And then you've got like Lisa Joe, just like, if you don't fuck with her, like honestly, you're probably not really made out to be successful in Web3. And then, like Jillian, like she will just like don't mess with her, but she's just the kindest soul. And I genuinely am trying to like just be like the strategy of the ecosystem and make sure people aren't being like dumb with their, liquidity and make sure that they're creating value at the same time. Like, wake up and, be proud of your behavior yesterday on Web3. Look, I feel like I'm people's conscience at times, but I actually think it's that combination that people respond to. It's like, it feels like your family, that you're going home for dinner and you've got all the different points of view, but combined, we know that we're more effectively together. I think
Yeah.
that's what's so cool about the diversity that we have, that we all kind of reinforce each other.
And that's why it's so good to have Mum back. It's so good to have you back, Stem.
Big facts.
Yeah, exactly. Wait a minute, Koi. I sent Koi a DM of an French Montana. His response is, "Stem's in the room." I love that.
That's all that matters right now.
Priorities, right?
I'll take that. I'll take that over that. But it's interesting is I got an invitation. I'll tell you a cute story. So it's a CryptoPunk friend of mine, and he sent me an invitation to French Montana's house. He said the bus leaves in Hollywood. I said I don't really need the bus. I know he lives like really close to me. And I said, why don't you DM me? We can meet at my house and we can go together. So great. So I got a message from him today, and it says, "Hey, it's Diana. What time do you want me over?" Like, so CryptoPunk is not a boy. So I told my girl, my wife, I'm like, yeah, I'm going with Diana. She's like, who's that? I'm like, well, it was a CryptoPunk. I thought it was a boy, but it's not a boy. She's like, oh, okay, have fun. I thought that was kind of funny.
I love it.
That is awesome.
I know, it's kind of funny.
The best thing about Twitter, you have no clue.
She's like, is it just you and her? I go, yeah, we'll probably just have to have a candlelight dinner right before, He's already jealous a little bit. Oh, man.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Hey, I got a question on the staking.
You just
question on the staking real quick. Are we gonna have to send that to a wallet of that wallet?
We haven't really disclosed all that or talked about it, but we're working on, like, as far as safety and everything, just make sure that you guys are going to be safe and we're trying to figure out things that are going to be working good. So we're going to go talk about that all at once.
Okay, yeah,
but
I wasn't sure.
I definitely I don't like sending things out of your wallet. If my opinion personally.
I agree. That's how I've always felt, and this other project that I'm in, same. It was my first time, and I felt comfortable. It stayed in my wallet. You earn worms or whatever incentive you guys would give, and then that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, a wallet connect works perfectly with that. To be honest, that's kind of the direction I'd go. But I don't like things leaving out of your wallet. It's just too many things go wrong with those, and I don't like that.
I'd like to give a quick shout out to Jron69 in the audience. Jron, that is a fantastic mythical Pixelsaurus. Speaking of which, shout out to Pixelsaurus who just grabbed a Jade queen. Very nice. I know he's not here, but that's a really nice queen.
Where is Jron? I had him at co-host. How did he disappear?
He's down there in the audience.
He's just a little disappearing. Hello, Stem.
How is he still on Space? He was on Space this morning at like 10 hours ago.
Were you in that space, Stem? Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, Jron's been a machine.
This is Jron. Hello,
how did you not know she was in that space? We all said hi to her. She was in there for like 10 minutes.
Hello, Stem.
I mustn't have tuned in early enough.
It's Jron. Hello, Stem.
Oh, that's right. You were asleep at that point. That's when we had moved over to Uncivil's room.
Of course, I fall asleep when all the stuff happens. Well, at least I'm awake now.
Yeah, and you're in here with two different...
Did they leave you asleep alone in a room, Ozzy?
That's what I woke up to. It was the empty room. I did put the sleeping emoji on my face. I was like, yep, this is happening.
That was hilarious. I just want to know why you're in here with two profiles when you're not hosting.
Also, because for one to capture it, right? So we were talking about recording, capturing the moment. I was asking you about your Genesis story. So you can't record if you're a speaker. You have to be a listener. Shout out here. Look, see my other account. Give us a little wave. Throw us a heart. Yeah, that's
Wait,
right.
we're
Good
recording
time down
this?
there.
I just picture you like sitting at a desk touching the phones.
So Brian Jackson below just told me that people have seen Elon coming in and out of chat. Have you guys seen that?
No.
I saw he was doing it. He definitely was doing it 48 hours ago. So I just think that he's doing some due diligence.
Really?
I think he's straight up hustling.
Well, last I heard, the deal was on hold because he was worried about some things, right? Like with the way the platform was already.
Can somebody invite him in here, please?
I'll shoot him a text.
Hey, Fity, I gotta bounce. I
Do
made
you
a
want to
detour
save
to
it for
Hard
when
Rock.
there's like a high quality conversation we might want to have with him?
I wouldn't mind having a conversation with him. I got questions. I got a few
Fity,
questions.
thanks for having me.
My question would be, can I have my car earlier than December, please? And thank you.
You know that was that. You know I'd ask that first.
Was that or the give us the hundreds back? No, I mean, if he was really in the room, surely we'd ask him. You know, how do you see Twitter integration with Web3 5 years from now, or something crazy like that?
No, I'd ask him for the 100s back.
Priorities. Yeah, you're right, Sam.
Well, and I just think, I think that there's a way to monetize Twitter that doesn't involve us giving away all of our data and our privacy and also paying for the privilege. I think there's a different, and I also don't want to be marketed to, so I feel like they've got to find a different way to monetize it.
I feel like Elon might have gotten excited over the use of the flexagons, and that's proof of ownership, connectivity, and one of the largest communications networks in the world. I mean, the potential is there. So many people like myself are already hooking up their Ethereum wallet to Twitter.
Well, I mean, in case he's here or listening, should I just read out my reservation to my car?
That'd be great. Excellent.
Yeah, I think I should just. I feel like who I feel like Desert Dory down below. I think she works. Dory Max 69. I feel like she's with Elon's people. So Dory, if you are, just give me a handshake and I'll DM me my reservation number. Or Pal. Pal looks like he works with Elon for sure. Take a look at Pal. He's right down below. You guys see Pal?
Hello, people of, yes, Tesla, SpaceX, and Boring Company. We appreciate your presence and company and hope you're enjoying the discussions. If you are going to sponsor a Twitter community, I do suggest this one comes first.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we're aligned. Strategically, we're aligned, right? Like, we're trying to save the planet too.
Exactly. Sam, I hope you saw that. It's not really a TED Talk, more of a TED interview with Elon, but that's really at the heart of everything he does. At one point, the interviewer asks, what do you think of people who throw shade because you're not as philanthropic as other billionaires? And he's like, well, I actually think I'm the most philanthropic. SpaceX is about being multiplanetary, for the love of people. Tesla is about saving the planet we're on. And that's loving people. Philanthropy is like in Latin, the love of people. And then the Boring Company, like making people's everyday lives, commutes and stuff. So, I think the values 100% align.
Absolutely. I'd like to hear him talk a little bit because I think the last time I really heard him talk was Saturday Night Live.
You should definitely watch that TED thing, man. That was only like 4 weeks ago.
Oh, really?
I liked him on that.
Yeah, it's great. They're at the Gigafactory. It's a great interview.
Was that on TV?
It was on YouTube, so it's on the TED Talks YouTube channel. Also, I'll find it and put it up top, make it easy for everyone.
Cool, thanks.